Hi everybody, my name is Debbie Yentsch. I'm from Salisbury, Maryland. I'm a certified motives trainer with MarketAmericaShop.com. Today I'd like to show you how easy it is to create a custom blend, a liquid foundation that will perfectly match your skin. This foundation is geared towards any skin type and any skin tone. And what I really want to show you today is how convenient it is to create a foundation that nobody will know you even have a foundation on. So you can see I have in the chair today Big Al. Now normally men don't typically wear foundations, but that's why I chose him to be the model. I want to show you that this blend is so well matched to your skin that no one will ever know he's wearing foundation. The first thing we have to do is decide on a base. So what I'm going to do is pick a base that I think will be closest to his skin color. Now, our custom blends can create a blend that will match anyone from the lightest skin tone to the darkest. But you can see Alan is really a lighter skin tone, so I'm going to stripe his chin with, or his jawline, with probably our lightest base, with our lightest bases. That being said, I'm going to stripe him with a little bit of beige, a stripe of beige, a stripe of porcelain, and a stripe of ivory. These being the three lightest bases. Lauren Reininger has put her name on this beautiful makeup line. And with her incredible social networking skills, has really brought to light and to surface a lot of interest in the motives line. So I just want to kind of hopefully increase this interest by showing you how easy it is to create a blend for a guy. This is my porcelain, tan, ivory, and beige. Now, to start off, you only need a small amount, a little tiny drop. So I have tan, and I'm going to go from darkest to the lightest with a stripe from the jaw, cheek down through the neck, across the jawline, so that I can see how nicely it will lay on his face. Beige, that was tan, beige, ivory, and the porcelain. I'm going to let that dry for about a minute because once it's on, we have to let it dry and come up, it darkens as it dries. So I want to let it dry for at least a minute so that I can get its true color. What I'm using now is an aught light or a full spectrum bulb. This light will help me see just exactly the tonalities that come up in the colors. Now, as you can see, I striped his face light to dark, and what I'm going to look for is a base that most perfectly matches his skin tone or sits best on his skin. Turn it for me a little bit. And accordingly, you can kind of see this one's way too dark, these two are way too light, and it looks like the beige is going to be my best choice. It's going to be the easiest to work with, the easiest to blend, because it sits best and probably most matches his skin. I'm going to use our Skintelligence pH normalizer to swipe these off and clean his face. He started out with a very clean, newly shaved face. You want to start your client off with a nicely clean face I usually moisturize it as well, and I always use the pH normalizer to take off these stripes because water tends to dehydrate and dry out your skin. pH normalizer, because it is pH balanced, will keep those conditioners and keep the moisture in your skin, locks it in, will be better for your skin than water, using water. You can use water, but I use the pH normalizer. It will help them to experience a little more of our product. I also use the whole Skintelligence line when cleansing their face before I create the blend. Now, knowing that the beige is my base, I'm going to take my mixing beaker and prepare it for the next steps. I'm going to ask you a few questions about your skin, Alan, and I'm going to ask you a few questions about what you might like in a blend. Tell me a little bit about your skin. If you could describe your skin, would you say that it is dry, it's oily, normal? Do you have problems with your skin? Are there any skin concerns or issues that you're having?
Probably normal, maybe a little dry.
Okay. Typically, our blend does, and our colors, our bases do have a sunscreen in them. They are mineral infused, so you're getting a nice foundation. Would you like to have a little more sunscreen in your blend?
Absolutely. With the summer coming up, absolutely.
Okay. Knowing that my sunscreen is a light color, because sunscreen is white, I'm going to put my sunscreen in at the bottom of my beaker because it is a white color. It could lighten my base, so I'm going to put it into the beaker first. Keep in mind too that we have metered pumps, and we want to create a blend that will fill a 1 ounce bottle. 1 ounce is equaling 35 milliliters. Each pump is a half a milliliter or 0.5 milliliters. So I want to make sure that I can create a blend that will equal my 35 and give him the sunscreen needed, the extra sunscreen he wants. So I'm going to give him at least 4 pumps, 4 to 6 would increase the SPF enough for him to have some good protection along with the skincare system he's using. So I'm going to give him 6 pumps of sunscreen. Now, knowing too that Alan has a more mature look, I think it might benefit him if I added a little bit of pearl. I'm not even going to ask him about that. I'm just going to put it in. What pearl does, it's like a magic ingredient that will help reflect light and help diminish the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So I'm going to give him approximately 2 pumps of pearl. I don't want to make him too shiny. After all, he is a guy and he doesn't want to be looking too much like a drama queen or diva. So we'll put a little bit of pearl in there just to help those fine lines and wrinkles disappear. Now the rest of what I can do is put in my base, because these are lighter colors. Like I said, they may help lighten the base, so I want to put in my base next. I'm going to shake it first, because these are water-based. There are no oils, lanolins, or fillers in our blends. Therefore, they're non-comedogenic, nothing in them to clog your pores or harm your skin. I'm going to shake it up to make sure that it is well blended into the bottle, and then I'm going to squirt in enough to bring it up to 30 in my beaker so that I have 5 more milliliters to play with. Now, if you know a whole lot about color and mixing color, you will find that making custom blends are fun and easy. Having put that much in my blend, I'm now going to stir it up, mix up these lighter colors with my base, and we'll restripe just to see how that base sits on his skin now that I have a few more ingredients in here, now that I've added the sunscreen and the pearl. I like to go from side to side, working on one side of the face and then going over to the other side of the face, because working with one side may tend to redden it, may tend to bring up a little bit of a blush on the skin. So let's just go over to this fresh side that I haven't touched yet, and we'll stripe with our blend. It seems to be coming up very nicely. We're going to let that sit for a minute because, as I said, it tends to darken as it dries. Alan's probably only going to want a medium kind of coverage because he's not really concerned about any specific skin issues or cosmetic issues. So we're going to leave it alone as far as adding any kind of thinner or enhancement. When you use just the bases itself, it's a nice medium coverage. Thinner, we can make it sheerer if that's what the client wants, or we could add our enhancers, which are very, very thick. They look kind of like pudding in a jar. And we can create a blend that is so heavy enough that it would cover a tattoo. These come in 4 different shades. The thinner shears the foundation and makes it a little less heavy so that we can create a color wash or just a tinted moisturizer if we would like to. And the thinner would bring it down to a very sheer coverage. Keeping in mind too that typically the foundations you buy in the stores are a little sheerer than what you may be what a customer may be accustomed to. So we want to definitely ask them about coverage. Our bases, as they are, again, are a medium coverage, so that if we have a younger client who is accustomed to using a blend from a store over-the-counter kind of blend in department store settings, they may want a little bit of thinner in it because ours is a little heavier than what they may be accustomed to. Let's take a look at his stripe now under the light. Whoops, it's the other side. And let's pull that out a little bit. What you want to do is kind of pull it out around the edges. So that we can kind of get that blended in. And as you can see, that's coming up pretty, you can still see it, but what we want to do next is add lightness toners so that we can create the perfect match. So the next thing I'm going to do is take a look at his skin. I may need to take another look at that stripe because I think what I'm also going to have to do is darken that a shade. It seems to be coming up a bit light, so I am going to have to add to its depth. I want to give it a little darkener, so I'm going to add a pump of yellow brown to darken the blend. And I'm only going to do a pump. That would be a half a milliliter. Keep in mind too, I have 5 milliliters to play with. There we go. And know too that less is more. I like doing a pump at a time or a half a milliliter at a time because I know I can always add more to the blend if I need to. Can't ever suck it out. You can always put more in. And I'm going to take that stripe off and restripe just to see if we have the depth correct. Yes. I like going from side to side because I just rub that, and I want to make sure I've got true skin color and not red. Make sure you get enough of a stripe that you'll be able to see it, so don't be afraid to put some blend on your Q-tip or brush. I use Q-tips. We're going to let that dry. Also want to pull it out. That's coming out pretty nice. Ooh, look at that. So, looks to me that it's coming along quite nicely. You're going to be able to go out and tell the guys you've got makeup on, and they're never going to be able to tell.
I'm telling you, it's a marketing for Modus for Lala and Modus for Lauren Rodinger.
Yes. Now the next thing I want to do is take a look at Alan's skin. I can see in his skin that, let's take this side because I have the stripe there. Alan's got a lot of yellow in his skin. He has a lot of pink in his skin. So I'm going to add some lightness toners now to make this Custom Blend Foundation look like skin. I want it to be skin in a bottle. I'm seeing yellow. He has a lot of redness here. He has some dark circles around his eyes, which we can fix. So let's just add a little bit of color now to bring this foundation up to the peak of perfection and make it look like it's going to be skin in a bottle. I also don't want him to look orange. So I want to make sure too that my stripe is not bringing up orange. No one wants to look orange, so we want to take that out. We want to be able to cut the orange, kill it, kill the orange. I always, for that reason, put in at least one pump of purple or blue, which is the opposite color of orange, so that I know it's going to complement one another. In his case, I'm using the blue. I'm going to put in one pump of blue, and while I'm doing this, I'm also recording on my Custom Blend Liquid Foundation record all of his information. So you will find that in the downloads in your back office. If you were to become a Modus consultant, everything is there for you. You've got all kinds of handouts, you have all kinds of information there that will help you through anything that you may want to know after you've taken your trainings and anytime you have questions about your business. So we're documenting all of this for Alan. And now I'm ready to add some toners. I did blue. I'm going to add yellow and pink because as I said, he has a lot of pink in his skin, so we're going to be adding some pink. And I like to put yellow in pretty much everyone's blend because yellow gives you life. Yellow adds to the blend, makes you look more alive. No one wants to walk around looking dead. We're going to mix all of these colors now. And knowing that I only put in one pump, that's a ½ milliliter. So with my sunscreen, my pearl, my base, and the pumps that I put in of blue, pink, and yellow, I'm now up to 33 milliliters. So I still have 2 milliliters to go to make that 1 ounce bottle. As you can see, after sitting on his skin for a while, that stripe's looking pretty good. It's almost like not there. I'm going to take it off though, because now I've added my likeness toners. And we're going to stripe him again. We're going to let that dry for a minute. Get out my foundation brush now, so that I can blend that in a little bit better. Oh my, isn't that looking pretty? Now comes the questions that most women really appreciate. Not only are we creating foundation or skin in a jar that matches your skin, we can also correct your foundation so that it gives you whatever additives you might like to address your skin's needs, as well as your aging, your youthfulness, your appearance overall. I already know my client very well, so I know that I'm going to want to put in a little fringe benefit. He'll definitely want the hydrator because he said his skin was dry, and he'll also definitely want the ultra firming because I know that as a more mature person, the ultra firming is going to give him the advantages of freezing muscles, sort of like flash freeze in a day. It holds it there for a day, tightens and firms. The hydrator adds the humectant or the hydration, the moisture that he will like, because his skin, he said, is tending to be dry. And the last thing I can put in is our fringe benefit. Fringe benefit acts like an enhancer that, if we were to compare apples to oranges, would change the surface of an orange to that of an apple. It kind of fills in whatever lines, wrinkles, uneven textures and surface there is. We can put in the fringe benefit, which will then enhance the surface or the appearance of his skin with his custom blend. I have to put that in last though, but because of the plumping qualities of that ingredient, it tends to plump up the whole foundation and can rise up out of the beaker and much like a volcano. And believe me, that is the truth because I've had it happen. Don't get that mixed in immediately right away. It will come up to surface. I'm going to make sure I've got my fringe benefit ready. I want to make sure I have my bottle ready because I'm immediately going to want to pour my blend if it matches. Take this out. This is our 1 ounce bottle. And I will fill this up probably just right to the ridge so that I have a little bit of shake room. Comes with a personalized sticker that we can personalize with their name and the date so that we can put that on the bottom of the bottle and they'll know how long their blend lasts. I'm going to do one more stripe just to make sure I've got a perfect blend. And what we're looking for is for that blend to disappear. We want it to sit so perfectly against his skin, we can't even see it. Which I think it pretty much has done. So I'm going to get ready now to add my fringe benefit. I usually just do 2 pumps. He's kind of middle-aged. Nice. Not showing the signs of age too much. So I think 2 pumps of fringe benefit will do it just fine for him. Since fringe benefit doesn't alter the color of my blend, I know that after I get that in there, and because I want to immediately pour it into my bottle, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Take this blend. I forgot to add the rest of my base, I'm sorry. I'll bring that up now. I get 2 more, it was at 33, 34, I need 1 more square of beige. Put that in there. Sorry. Stir that up, make sure that it'll fill the bottle. And pour. Any leftovers, I can put into another smaller jar container. This was customized for Alan on the last day of April 2014. We'll put his own personal sticker on it. There you are, sir. And here you are, sir. Your own custom blended formula of foundation from Motives by Lauren Reidinger. I'm going to continue with his foundation by taking what I have in the beaker and now applying it to his face. He's already wearing a primer over his moisturizer, so this should blend in here very nicely. And I think for today's purposes, what we're going to do is just half of his face, so you can see. Does this hurt?
No.
Okay. You seem to be scrunching up your face like it's hurting. Oh my, look how that changes the texture of his skin. Doesn't that make it look so much smoother? Wow. Oh man, you're going to get rid of this all the time. Mm-hmm. And even to bed, because it doesn't come off on your pillow. That's beautiful. Put your head down a bit. Oh, that's pretty fun. Now guys don't typically wear eye makeup, although some do anymore. You know, they have guy liner, we can put mascara on their lashes. If you're more involved with makeup than that. But because Alan, I know, doesn't usually typically wear, do you wear any?
No.
Okay. I'm putting it on his eyelids and all around his eyes so that we can get full coverage here. And I've just done half of his face. So you can see that there should be a minimal difference, if any, between the 2 sides of his face. Look directly at the camera. And I think that you can see the difference only in just the texture and smoothness of his skin mostly, and that's exactly what we want foundation to do too. Create the canvas on which we are going to add color to enhance your natural beauty. So for the girls out there, you ladies, we want to then add eyeshadow, lipsticks, blushes, powders to enhance your natural beauty. But in this case, as you can see, we've enhanced him to the max by creating a custom blended foundation that even guys can wear and no one will know you have it on. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoy your custom blend.